One from YouTube.
Yep.
Is branded plus keyword the most important factor to expand using CTR? No, I mean, that's one of many. So, you know, a brand plus keyword is part of it, but again, we talked about navigational search queries. We can kind of demonstrate that briefly again, because we got a few minutes. But there's like brand plus, let me zoom in on this, guys. We can demonstrate this a little bit, but there's a brand search, and then there's like brand plus a keyword. So we can say like a service or product, etc. Then there's also like brand plus phone. And I don't mean like you put brand plus the phone number in, you put brand plus phone as part of the search query that you want to manipulate CTR signals on. So just to kind of explain what I mean, if we go over to Google, I'll show you what I mean. And we'll just use this example that I've used before. So Culpeper Home Services, they've done a phenomenal job with their website. Whoever their SEO company is, they did a fantastic job with the site structure. Fabulous job with that. But okay, so this is what I want to point out. This is just a company local to me in Culpeper. I have nothing to do with them. I just used this before in an example, and it's just a really good example that I can use to point to. Anyway, you see how Culpeper Home Services, well, if we do a search for that, that's a brand search right there, right? Well, we could also do Culpeper Home Services, let's say plumbing. Okay, that's a good signal. They also do, I believe, HVAC services, probably electrical stuff too. But if I say like HVAC, whoops, again, that's brand plus keyword. That's what you asked about. Okay. If I could type today, God damn it, I look at time I type, it's misspelled. Okay, so those are brand plus keyword searches. But what about this? Brand plus phone. Watch. See that? That's what's called a rich snippet. That is a great signal, guys. That's a great navigational search query or branded search, because somebody that's searching Culpeper Home Services phone or phone number, they're looking to call them. That is a fantastic signal. You understand? Here's another one, right? Another one would be hours. That's another brand or navigational search. You see what it does? Rich snippet. It's showing their hours of operation. So you could do hours of operation, right? All of these variants, guys, you want to use variations of branded or navigational search queries, all types of, because those are incredibly powerful signals, because you're telling Google's algorithm that the company is important enough and well-known enough that people are searching for it by name. That is a much, much better CTR signal than just a generic keyword search and click, right? These are entity weighting search terms. When I say weighting, I mean like WEIGHTING, like it's adding weight to the entity, making the entity heavier, more massive, right? Does that make sense? Google, it's a very, very powerful signal. This was, I was taught about this way back in 2000 and I think it was 10 or 11 by Ivan Budimir, who again was the most influential mentor on my local SEO business in all of my career. Ivan Budimir from Maps Magic many years ago, Michael X or Michael Taggart, they had a project together called Maps Magic, and Ivan Budimir was a freaking savant. He doesn't do SEO anymore, at least not publicly. But back then in the day, I think it was 2000, probably 11. But anyway, he pulled out what was called the site weight patent, that's not the official term, but it was a Google patent. I think that was approved in 2008 or 9. But it was talking about how if there's two sites that all things were equal, that's almost impossible. But if theoretically, hypothetically, if there was two sites that had the same structure, they were optimized exactly the same. If one site has more branded searches than the other, that branded search, the site that receives more branded searches or search queries is going to outrank the other one every time. Full stop, like period. And so that was way back when I first learned about this. He called it the site weight patent. That's what Ivan called it. He brought out the patent, he showed it, he read through it, deciphered it. I can't read patents, but he could. He was, like I said, dude was a savant. And he explained it. And that was way back when I first learned about CTR manipulation. Back then we did it with microtask workers. We would hire microtask workers and pay like, 4 cents or 3 cents or 2 cents for them to go search in Google for a particular keyword or for the brand name, and then find the URL, click it, and then kind of scan down. We tell them to copy the 3rd word in the 2nd paragraph, or the 8th word in the 7th paragraph, or something like that. Why would we do that? Because it would cause them to find that URL, click onto it, and then have to scroll on the page and dwell on the page to try to find that word. And then they would enter that into the box to show that they had completed the task. Then they would get their payment. And that's where I first started learning about click-through rate manipulation. And again, this was 10 years ago now. But we did it manually through microtask workers. But anyways, all of this stuff right here, these variants of navigational search queries or branded search queries all matter, because it makes the weight, that the entity heavier or more massive, right? It means it's more authoritative to Google, because it means to Google, right? It's showing that the company is well known enough for people to be searching for it by name. And that is a great, great signal, guys. So like hours of operation, business hours, like all of these are, you see, look at it gives you suggestions, right? So these kind of suggestions are the suggestions that you want to include in your navigational search queries, because they're the ones that people often search for. And again, if like hours of operation, you see how, boom, it's all of that. So what about this? You see how they've got a published street address? So what about this? Location. What's it do? Boom, that's another branded search query. What about address, right? If I could spell, God damn it, there we go. There's another one, right? So Culpeper Home Services address. Those are all, and then again, you can also add keywords in there. You can also add modifiers. So like, let's see, Elkwood. Let's see if we can do that. Elkwood, VA. That's area in Culpeper. Okay, so you can see it's like a town within the county of Culpeper County. So again, you can see Culpeper Home Services Elkwood. That didn't pop a knowledge panel, but it popped them at the top of the 3-pack, and then look who's ranked first. And you can see that these are all like, by the way, that's a good service. Nearby Now. I've got a couple of our mastermind members that have recently experienced some of their client stuff that are benefiting from Nearby Now, which is an app. It's pretty cool. I want to revisit this. I had a plumbing client like 6 years ago that we implemented this for, and 3 months after implementing it, he let me go as his SEO. And I never came back to Nearby Now, but recently this has popped up on my radar a couple times, like it just did just now. So that's something to look into, guys. Anyway, but you can see, guys, all of those are kind of like branded type of search queries. Those are all very, very powerful signals. Okay. So yeah, use those when you can. Look at that. They know semantic mastery methods. Look at that. That's a Culpeper Home Services Google site. I'll be damned. Looks very familiar. Interesting. I did not have anything to do with this project, but it sure looks familiar. Okay.